All right, guys.
Enjoy.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Ben Kassie. I'm the principal, the Maryland principal and broker here at Remax Galaxy. We put together throughout the month of September. We put together a bunch of courses just to basically help you guys to become successful in this business. And I think that one of the biggest issues that we face in our business is understanding, the process of lead generation. And that is something that is our engine in our business. So I decided to, share, what I've been doing in this business to basically help you guys to understand and also how you can master your lead generation. So this course is going to be from the basics to breakthrough of lead generation. Any questions before I start? All right. So, when we all get our license, we have new agents in our office. We also have seasoned agents in our office. But this is a stats that you want to think about. The NAR, that's the National Association of Realtors, are saying that within the first year of this business, 75% of real estate agents fail within the first year. I mean, that's a very big number. And within 5 years, 87% fail in this business. So if you've been in this business over 5 years and you're still standing, I'd like to congratulate you because this is a very tough business that we're in. So the reason, some of the common mistakes that agent, don't learn in this business are inadequate prospecting. Marketing is also a big thing, and also not having a follow-up system. So if you don't have an ability or any skills to prospect, and you don't know how to do any marketing, and you don't know how to have a follow-up system to your client, then you're not going to do well in this business. So today we're going to discuss the fundamentals of lead generation system. So what is lead generation? I don't know how you guys view the lead generation, but in the definition, lead generation is a strategic process of identifying, attracting, and capturing the interest of potential buyers, sellers, investors, or renters to turn them into clients and ultimately close a property transaction. It involves various online and offline marketing, sales tactics to build a steady pipeline of potential customers and grow a real estate business. I mean, this is something that we don't really think about. I mean, when we're lead generating, we have to have a strategic way of approaching our clients. In this business, it's all about attracting, being able to attract your clients and be able to have their interests so you can potentially, build that relationship with them and they become a customer. An example of, lead generation is open house sign up. You have the Facebook lead form and website inquiry. These are just typical examples of lead generation. So let's focus on the lead funnel. And this is a very, very important diagram that we have to look at. The first thing is awareness. Basically, see your just listed post. This is an example. So awareness is obviously attracting your audience, letting them understand basically who you are, what your role is as an agent, and also their interests, right? When they're aware of you, they are going to be able to. You're going to want to capture their interest, right? If wherever you follow them, it can be on social media, it can be on an email, it can be on a database. Any way you can have them, you can attract their interest. And then the third thing is going to be consideration. Basically, having a way you can keep in touch with them. If you're dealing with a seller, a CMA market report, and basically the reason why they want to sell. And then decision is you want them to decide to really, really work with you as an agent. So the types of lead generation. So there's different types of lead generation system. It depends on how you want to focus on your business. You can focus on buy leads. You can focus on seller leads, rental leads, but you have to have a strategy when you're a lead generation, when you're doing your lead generation. So you have to understand what a buyer leads are. Individual that are looking to purchase, property or investors. Seller leads are basically property owners who want to sell their home, often for reasons like relocating, downsizing, or they just probably want to sell because they want to buy another one. Or they just, and then you have the rental leads, people that are looking for rental properties. They just, it's time for them to move. They're not in the position to buy, so they want to focus on basically renting. Once you have identifying the type of leads that you are working with, you have to understand the interest level, which is a temperature of, gauging these leads. You have to understand that if you're working with a buyer, you have to understand what their lead is. Is it a cold leads? Is it a warm leads or hot leads? So typically on a cold leads is individual who have showed little interest or interaction requiring nurturing with consistent contact and follow-up. So these are the leads that you just don't throw them away. They're going to be potential clients in the future, because in this business, you have to understand that we get paid rare. We don't get paid forward. So basically, whatever you put in work in this month, you're going to get paid in December or next month. If you can understand that concept, you will be able to be successful in this business. So cold leads is something that you don't throw away. You just need to keep those. Don't focus on just leads that are ready to buy or sell or whatever the situation is. So warm leads is going to be leads that have shown some interest, such as attending an open house. And basically they are still in the early stage, and most likely they're going to be people that you're going to want to work with. And then hot leads, folks that are looking to buy, sell, and they're ready to make a decision, right as soon as possible. So once you are able to understand the type of lead that you are dealing with and having the right system in place to be able to follow up with these leads, you're going to be able to close them at some point. And then once you understand the type of lead system, then you have to focus on the lead source. Where is your leads coming from? Is it coming from a referral leads? Is it coming from an Aspire leads, an open house, folks that came through your open house or online portal system? So sourcing your leads are significantly important. Referral leads, obviously, that's going to be the most valuable type of lead system that you're going to have. Folks from your past clients, your colleagues, people that trust you, people that can recommend you. These are going to be the top of the top leads where you not going to have any challenges when you're dealing with referral leads. Aspire listings, obviously, when Aspire listings are going to be an unsuccessful listing that's on the market that the listing did not sell. So, basically, you have John Doe, for example, overpricing their property and dealing with a seller, and the lease expires. Obviously, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to come in to be able to convert this seller as a client to closing. And also open house as well is also a very, very big type of lead source. A lot of agents are very uncomfortable with open houses. So a lot of agents are not trained with open houses, so they don't feel comfortable doing open houses. We have an open house course coming up soon. So we're going to teach you guys how to do an open house where you can attract leads and then you can convert those leads to buyers. And then online portal, that's a very, very expensive lead system. If you want to do leads on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, there's a lot of online lead sources that we have. We can guide you guys through the process of lead generation. And then you have your social media leads as well. Being able to, create a brand and create an influence, because right now that's the most important thing about social media. Everybody wants to be an influencer. So that's a very good way to attract people, for them to see you as a professional that you are in, and create a brand online that people can be attracted to. And then also the direct mail leads. Obviously, when you send mailings to your clients, I receive postcards from agents all the time. It's farming. Picking up a certain neighborhood and farming to the neighbors and home sellers, so they can eventually, when they're ready to sell, they're going to contact you to be the person to come to. And then inbound marketing leads, individual who you find online channels through blogs, websites, or local CEO, SEO efforts, and also indicating they're actively searching for information. So the other day I got an inbound lead from from a VA buyer, don't know her from anywhere. She just saw my brand online. She reached out to me. She bought a new construction. I made $10,000. I haven't even seen her yet. So this is all about creating that brand online so people can recognize who you are. Like I said, it's all about marketing. You have to market yourself so you can attract business. And also the spheres of influence. Obviously, we have this lead source as well, SOI, through, your personal networking, your friends and your family members, people that know you. I mean, the other day, my sister sent me a referral, so you want to keep that, spheres of influence connected so you can get referrals from. And then there was also something called organic leads. So these are going to be leads that discovered your business naturally through search engines, social media. They find you because of your brand. They just, because we know we are in a market where we have people always relocating. I deal with a lot of, VA buyers, that I've closed a lot of deals from not even meeting him because they are relocating. So you definitely want to create your online presence, and you want people to, you want to attract people so they can eventually, when they're ready to buy or relocate, they're gonna be reaching out to you because you are gonna be you're gonna be seen as a professional and the local market expert that they can trust to work with. And then the inbound leads, these are going to be warm leads and qualified leads who search out to you after engaging with your contact. My teammate, he gets a lot of social media inbound leads. He gets a lot of, when he does his social media marketing videos, he gets a lot of leads. And because, you'll be able to engage in your business by doing the inbound leads as well. And then also we have the outbound leads as well, leads that are generated through proactive outreach, things such as cold calling, email campaigns, direct mail. While they may require some effort to convert, they offer targeted community communication opportunity, and they can help you reach specific audience or market. So this is the outbound lead is the hardest part of lead generation. Obviously, you have to have scripts. You have to know your audience. You have to know who you're targeting. You want to be able to, convert these leads to clients. And then, like I said, the best referrals leads is going to be word of mouth. People that know who you are, your past clients, people that know that you're in this business. It can just be agents to agents. You should build relationship with a lot of your real estate agents. They are your friends. They're not really your competitive. Sometimes they can send you referrals, where you are licensed at. So these are going to be the type of leads that you definitely want to focus at. So let's talk about traditional versus modern lead generation. Obviously, our industry is always changing. So when I started my business over 10 years ago, obviously we were focused more on more of the traditional leads, right? Which is referrals, for buyer or seller, farming neighborhoods, listings, trying to get listings, open houses, and also print marketing. These were also the traditional, method of the way we were doing our lead generation. Now things have changed, which is the modern method is social media, Facebook, IG, TikTok, LinkedIn, SEO, blogs, paid ads through Google, Meta, video tours, Reels. I mean, these are all other sorts of ways that you can generate your leads. And also it's definitely important to understand obviously where your leads are coming from, because if you don't know where your next client is coming from, then you don't have a business. So let's talk about the best of both worlds. So it's not all about focusing on just traditional way, because it's all combination as well too, right? You have to be able to merge them together as well when you are doing your lead generation and building your business. So obviously, let's say if you have an open house, obviously it's another way of building leads, and then you combine your social media live tours, right? Letting people know that you're a real estate agent, you have a listing that's on the market, You are looking for buyers. I mean, the reason why we do open houses is not because we want to get by. We want to sell the property. I mean, most of the houses that we sell is not from a prospect that walks into a open house. Open houses are usually for us building your business, looking for leads, looking for clients that are looking to buy. So whenever you're doing your open house, you definitely want to combine your social media marketing. That way you can influence, somebody that's online looking for guidance. There, everybody's looking for somebody that they can lean on. So that's something that you definitely want to focus on. And also postcards too. I mean, postcards has been very, very significant in this market. The traditional way of how we do our marketing. You can also have your QR code to your website, where people can scan your website and they can follow you, and you'll be able to see your leads as well. Like I said, it's not all about choosing which method is better. It's all about being able to make a combination of blending both methods together, doing the traditional way of lead generation and also innovating the modern way as well, so you can be successful. All right, so we're still on building a strong foundation. Defining your target audience. You have to know who you're marketing to, which kind of lead that you're going after. Either you're doing a first-time home buyer, you're downsizing investors, you're going after sellers that want to sell, and also you create your value proposition. What makes you different? What makes you different from another agent? And then you have to focus on your brand and online presence. Things like, your website has to be mobile friendly. Your social media, consistently branding. Your social media content is important. You have to have your reviews. People got to know the good work that you do. You need to have a testimonial out there. People reviewing you through Google, Zillow, Facebook, and you want to be polished. You can't just obviously walk into a listing appointment looking like you just came from you want to look good, smell good, because you're attracting your audience. And then once you build your systems, you have to remember, you have to have tools to be able to follow up with your client. You have to focus on your CRM system. We use BoldTrail, KV Call. Some people use Top Producer. There's a lot of lead systems that people use, but you have to have your CRM systems so you'll be able to keep in touch with your client. They have to know who you are. You have to constantly communicate with them. And you can also have an automation, email drips. Once a month I do newsletter. Once a month, in my database, smart campaigns. You also want to focus on, how you focus on your scheduling with your client. You want to be organized, because if you're dealing with a lot of clients, you have to have a calendar block where this is a time that you want to go on a listing appointment. This is a time that you want to speak to a buyer, a seller, an investor. You want to be able to be organized to be able to be, handle your transaction, because you can get a lot of business, a lot of leads, and obviously you're not closing any deals because you're all over the place. So having your KV Call CRM system, being able to keep in touch with your client, follow up with them, and scheduling on your calendar blocks you're going to be very successful when you do that. And you have to understand time management. You have to have a 1 hour daily block. It's however you want to structure your schedule. You also want to focus on the 30 minutes rule, 30-30 rule, 30 minutes for follow-up systems, and then 30 minutes for new prospecting. So, you call this person that wants to buy, you spoke with them few days ago. You want to be able to have a follow-up system that you can keep in touch with them when they're ready to buy. They can reach out to you. And also, you definitely want to leverage, right? Leveraging and then contents, right? Because you're going to be all over the place in this business. So you definitely want to make sure that whenever you're leveraging your social media, if you're going to do Facebook ad, you want to have a target zip codes. You want to basically focus on a certain area that you can be successful at. IG, you definitely want to put yourself out there on, IG Reels, people to know who you are. You definitely want to be an influencer, if you want to focus on that lead generation system. And then also LinkedIn is really good way to get business. There's a lot of professionals out there. They're relocating. They're looking for people that they can trust. So if you showcase well and you're able to build a very nice LinkedIn portfolio profile, you can attract a lot of because this area we deal with a lot of military people. We also have a lot of IT folks in this area, and government workers relocating. You can be the person that they can trust when they are relocating into this area. And then obviously content converts, blogs, having blogs, neighborhoods, if you are able to master your videos, you can definitely take your business to the next level. And then market updates. People want to know that you know what you're doing. You understand the trend in the market. I mean, right now, it's all over the place. Everybody's trying to look for who they can guide them. So you have to understand what the market is. You have to know how you can learn so you can share information to your clients. So you definitely want to be the expert. And also, you have to understand how to nurture leads. Like I discussed, there's going to be cold leads out there that you get. You have somebody that wants to buy, but their timeline is in a year or two. How do you keep in touch with these people? You can focus on an email drip campaign, right? Putting them on an email where they can constantly get information about you every month. You can also have an ad system where obviously it's attracting them to be able to remember when it's time for them to sell or buy. The only person that they're going to think about is you, because if you're not in front of your clients every day, they're going to go with somebody else. They're going to go with another agent that's in front of them. So you always want to keep in touch with them. Also, text messages is also good to keep in touch with them. Every time that you reach out to a client, you definitely want to remember by using your CRM system to take notes what you talked about. And then whenever you reach out to them through text or a phone call, you can have that conversation. Hey, how is your kids? You said, your dogs, whatever conversation you guys have, you definitely want to keep in touch, and you always want to record what you talked about. And some of the things that you can also focus is having relationship with other partners in the business. Our mortgage lenders are important for leads, insurance agents as well. Ask if you have a very good insurance agent, ask them for leads. Do you know anybody that's looking? If you don't ask, you're not going to receive. So you always want to be able to, establish that relationship with your partners, because you're giving them business, right? Why can't they, give you business as well? I mean, I work with a lot of, other business professionals, and they say, hey, Ben, you know what? I'll give you a referral fee. I said, no, I don't really care about a referral fee. I only give you business if you give me business. So you always want to be able to have that position to let people know that, if I work with you, this is a partnership, and partnership is you supporting my business and I'm supporting your business. So when you have all these relationship with these mortgage companies, the title companies, don't just give them business because just for the hell of it, because they close your clients, but you want to get something back in return as well, which is through referrals.
Can you clarify on the email drip campaign? Do you have specific companies you use? Do you use who do you use for email drip campaigns?
Email drip, everything is KV Core. KV Core. We create a campaign for our clients. So it all depends. It can be a seasonal campaign. It can be under contract, sold, information about interest rate, anything that is hot in the market. That's how we create that email campaign. It's all about staying in touch with them. Exactly. It can be about you, about how you're feeling, about what you're doing. So as long as you're able to stay in touch with them, that's all that matters. Any question on this slide? Okay. And then how do you convert leads into clients, right? You got the leads. People are calling you. They want to be able to work with you. How do you become the professional that you can convert them? The most important thing is building trust. Obviously, if you look at our industry, we don't have a lot of trust in this industry. A lot of people have had horrible experiences with a lot of agents in the past. Sometimes you may, I've dealt with clients before that they had a horrible experience. So you definitely want to build trust. And building trust is all about listening. Don't do a lot of talking. Listen more. Be able to listen to what your client, their wants and their needs, right? Listen to them. share ideas, share information. It's a relationship business. And also, you want to be able to share your testimonials. If, let them go on your website. Let them Google you. Say, hey, Google me. Let them see your review. People see that you are the trustworthy professional if they see that people are saying good things about you. Because if you don't have that track record and you don't have any testimonials or any reviews online, then obviously they will work with somebody else. So you definitely want to build trust that way. And you definitely want to provide, value to them, right? If they are willing to sell, give them a free CMA. Explain to them what their value, the estimated value of their property will be. You definitely want to be useful, right? The more that you're useful, the more that people see you as the person that they trust. And also, you want to be able to handle problems, right? Problems happen in this business. This is a very hard business. Obviously, if somebody said they're not ready to buy or sell, always ask questions. When is a good time to check back? Follow up. Let them know that you care about them. And because every time when I do my follow up call, I get good feedback. And don't be afraid to call somebody and ask them that you talk with and ask them for referrals, because you are thinking that they may think that you are calling them so much, but no, everybody needs somebody to talk to. But you just have to know what you want to speak with them about when you give them a call. You can't just call them and say, hey, you know what's going on? So you definitely want to be able to have something to discuss and let them know that you are going to be the person that they will call when it's time for them to sell or buy. And also, when you're interviewing them, don't be afraid to ask them, are you speaking with another agent? And you definitely want to let them know how different you are, what your value proposition is. Let people know that you are the real deal, better than hiring somebody else. So you always want to be able to have that conversation with your client, know what they're thinking, know who they're speaking with. So because at the end of the day, you definitely want to stand out the most. And then closing the deal, ask for an appointment. When can I sit down with you to discuss your selling process? Why do you want to sell? Where are you going? Why do you want to buy? How much you pay for rent? What is your rental process like? How long have you been a tenant? Are you building equity? Are you building appreciation? So these are things that you definitely want to, ask when you're having a conversation with your client. And also you just, you have to let them know that you are definitely here for them, and you definitely here to help them grow and close their sale. Any question on this? All right. All right. Well, that ends my presentation.